Welcome back. It is 1454. In the last one, we had the girls age up into toddlers, and we have El Rosaria and Odelgard fighting for that top spot in the social circle. And El Rosaria finally slipped up. She woohooed with Emil, and she is now pregnant with his child. On the other hand, we have some drama in the Heathcliff household where Jeremiah is now engaged to Martine. Obviously, betrothals happened at any ages. They could happen at birth, before birth, but they're technically engaged. I don't think that that's actually going to follow through. That was something that Cassian wanted, but Felice, who wanted to marry a knight, Emil, she ended up poisoning her father so that she could get married. So now, Cassian's over here. So now Cassian is in charge. He doesn't really know what to do. He's kind of stuck in this situation that his father made because he can't just surrender. He knows he'll be executed for his part. So he doesn't know what to do right now. He's trying to figure it out. So Felice and Emil got married. And this is our Jeremiah, who aged up in the last one. Meanwhile, also, we had Frost get married to Papa. So they're finally married, and everyone is pregnant. This year, we have Felice and Thomas. I'm so nervous. What will happen if Thomas dies? This is going to be so wild. Okay, so Felice Heathcliff is aging up into a young adult, even though she just got married. We'll see how it goes. She cannot get a 2, 6, 11, 13, 14. Oh my gosh. She survived. Okay, she survived. She is going to, have her baby and do all that stuff. Next, we have Thomas, our Thomas. We have such bad luck. I just can't even handle these. He needs to get a 9 or higher. He did. Oh my goodness, Thomas, you survived. This is great. Okay, so Thomas lived. Felice lived. We're going to have some babies. We're going to have a Smith baby and a Payne baby. It's going to be great. Oh gosh. Okay. Thomas lived. That's what matters. All right. So let's hop into the game. All right. So here we are in the game. We have El Rosaria very pregnant with Emil's child, and Thomas, again, having promised to protect her and take care of her. And Odelgard has found out by now, obviously, because she's really showing. So, but Odelgard, has been kind of told by Thomas not to say anything or do anything because, that's his legal wife. He promised to take care of her. And even though he's been a really terrible husband, he's not going to take advantage of this situation when he's done the same thing. So we have El Rosaria training Francesca, but Tiffany is all on her own and is really working through her skills. So Tiffany is very smart. I think that Tiffany is doing really well in things like communication and movement and stuff like that, but obviously she doesn't have anyone to teach her about things that she would like book smarts stuff, so she doesn't really have anyone doing that. Odelgard is still focusing on learning how to be a lady on her own, and so that's why there's that. But then we do have Francesca, who is learning a lot about that kind of stuff through her mother. So Francesca is definitely getting some of the book smart stuff, and Tiffany is focusing more on the stuff she can do. So anyway, we're having a dinner party right now. Rosaria is having a dinner party, and she's just, inviting everyone over, and we're trying to really finish El Rosaria's aspiration today because she only needs 3 more to host 3 more parties, and she needs to get 2 gold. So if we can just do that, even though it's been so hard to get a gold on things lately, but I think we're going to be able to do it here. So let's make a dessert. We're really focusing on getting a gold instead of anything else. But anyway, so we're going to have the ladies all chatting and listening to music and enjoying themselves, and El Rosaria is working really hard to make sure the dinner party goes well, and she's, they're talking about the baby, about how she's going to give birth soon, and it's really exciting. And Odelgard, of course, is kind of being snide and snarky about the whole thing, oh yeah, we're really excited, for our baby to be, blah, blah, blah. And so I think that El Rosaria is kind of almost walking on eggshells around Odelgard because she knows Odelgard could totally destroy her reputation. And it's so ironic, right? Because Odelgard is a mistress, but Rosaria has kind of built herself up to be this proper lady, so virtuous, And so because of that, she, you know, would be humiliated and embarrassed by everyone and like, where are you going? No, you're not going to woohoo with each other. What the hell? Okay, but yeah, so she definitely wouldn't want to do that. And then all of a sudden, Thomas starts glitching. He's like, I'm aging up 1,000,000 times. And I'm like, no, Thomas, stop. But he keeps aging up, and now he's an elder. And I'm like, stop. Stop, Thomas. Oh my gosh, your birthday isn't until Tuesday, but also, are you about to drop dead? Seriously. So, anyway, everyone is just having a good time, and El Rosaria is mad that Thomas is paying attention to Odelgard in front of everyone else, and so that's embarrassing for him, except she just, like, she's full of hormones. She's really just, like, so, like, anxious about the whole situation. She's just going to go outside and cool off. Thomas, like, understands. He's not, even though he's been really bad to El Rosaria, he's not going to try and hurt her maliciously. Like, even though what he's done is kind of purposeful, but like, he's not going to do anything to her because of the situation. Anyway, I don't know how to explain it any better than that. Like, it may sound hypocritical, but like, he's good in some ways and bad in others. And meanwhile, Thomas is still doing research on like vampires and stuff. We could say that he had maybe a little health scare there. And because of that, he's like, my family's been so surrounded by death. Like, I really do want to research vampires and stuff more. So he's looking into that. Adelaide has come visit us. I love her. If I can like get the new pack whenever it comes, when does it come out? I don't remember when it comes out, but it should be coming out soon-ish. I mean, the trailer already dropped. And so whenever that comes out, and then, like, I'll wait a couple weeks, maybe a week or two for the mods to update. And then after that, it would be really nice to move Adelaide into, like, a property on our property. That would be really nice. So hopefully we can do that. And maybe even split up the household so that El Rosaria and Odelgard actually have their own separate spaces, although I am concerned about that just because I want to be able to control all of these Sims, but I also kind of want them to have more kids. Is that too much to ask for? I probably shouldn't have them have any more kids. We already have 8 Sims in our house, like once the baby's born, so. Anyway, so Thomas and his son Thomas are going to be chatting, and little Thomas is basically like, Dad, I want to learn how to shoot a bow and arrow. Like, I want to be a cool knight, whatever. And so he tells his dad, and Thomas is like, okay, like, let me look into it. I'll get you, a bow and arrow. And Odelgard kind of sees this. And so she is being mean to little Thomas and is basically like, she sees how Thomas, her romantic partner Thomas, is willing to like bend over backwards for his kids. And she, of course, is kind of jealous that when he gives stuff to his other children, which doesn't make any sense, I know, but she still feels that way. And so she's going to be unkind to little Thomas there, and he doesn't really get it. Like, I mean, I think he knows probably from school and stuff, like the other kids talk, he understands the kind of, or like at a base level, understands some of the dynamic of his family. And he knows that Odelgard is like, if Odelgard is doing well, his mom isn't. And so he kind of, he obviously isn't very respectful of her either. But so they are just going to be kind of in high conflict with each other because of that. I think that Odelgard isn't even going to bother trying to get on the future heir's good side, Like, she knows that El Rosario will poison him against her, so she's not even going to try that. She's going to try and secure things for her daughter. And, if this baby doesn't survive, maybe Odelgard and Thomas will have another baby. We'll have to see. So we're just going to move on here. She has to read her 5 books to finish this aspiration, which she's almost done with. We have El Rosaria again with Francesca and Tiffany all by herself working on her things. And we are going to have little Dante be also doing some art stuff. He's very creative. He's kind of a little more, Dante's a little more conflict adverse. He kind of stays away from these you know, he just kind of stays to himself and tries to stay away from stuff. And actually, he's really smart. Like, he breezes through his homework and everything. Meanwhile, Thomas the Fourth is like working really hard to do everything and be perfect. And so that's kind of an interesting dynamic between the twins as well. So anyway, the maid did a terrible job of cleaning up my house. So we're just going to try and really quickly get some things done because I already started another party. So I want this party to go well. We did get a gold on that other party. So we need 2 more parties, one of which is going to get a gold, hopefully. And then we can finish Alrasari's aspiration. So that would be really great. And she's definitely going to pop today. Like, that is, are there twins? There can't be twins in there because we already have 7 household members. So yeah, yep, it can't be twins, but it kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Anyway, so we're going to have Alrasaria be working on socializing with her guests because she is, you know, the host of this party, even though the house is kind of a disaster, which is really embarrassing for her. And we're just doing our best here. So she is doing good. And we are going to all have some cake. And so she notices little Tiffany here. She notices that Tiffany is here at the party downstairs, and she knows she's not supposed to be. Like, the children aren't really invited to these sort of things. So she's just kind of like, you know, going to scold Tiffany for being down here. Like, you shouldn't be down here. What are you doing? You should have stayed in your room. Like, you know, and she doesn't want other people to also interact with Tiffany. And it probably earlier when she walked by Thomasina talking to Tiffany, Thomasina was probably like, oh, she's such a sweet little girl. She's so smart, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Alrasari is like, no, she's not. And is like, go upstairs. So Alrasaria does scold Tiffany a little bit. And we're not going to be able to do this gold on this party. So moving on, we are going to have the kids come inside. Come on, it is a thunderstorm outside. Oh, fear of like inferiority. Oh my gosh, that's a lot for a child. So we're going to end the party here. I am just letting the game catch up with itself because it says it's like already 9 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, well, the kids just got home from school. So I also forgot to put a crib in here. So let's get, or a bassinet, whatever it is. So let's get that in here and we will have Alrasaria have the baby. So very exciting. Alrasaria having a baby. Let's go. So if you could just go upstairs, thanks. Okay, thanks. You totally glitched. That's fine. I was trying to take a picture, but she's just looking at the wall, and it's really hard to take a picture of them. So anyway, we're going to have this baby, and it's a girl, and we roll for her, and she survives. So we are actually going to name her Genevra. So that is cute, little Harry Potter reference. Maybe, you know, she'll be a spellcaster one day, who knows. So let's put her in there. She has survived so far, which is really good. She is, though, an affair baby. So we're just going to add her to the tree like this, where we put her biological parents as Alrasaria and Emil, but her adoptive father as Thomas, so that, you know, everybody is clear on how this works. So there they are, and then we're going to oh, look at that. She's so cute. Okay, so Thomas has promised to treat Genevra like she is his daughter. He is not going to go back on that. He's not going to treat her any differently. He is not going to, you know, punish an innocent child for their, you know, for a toxic family dynamic that he created. So he's going to do that. And then these two, I mean, little Thomas wants to be disliked by Odelgard. He does not like her. So I think this is so funny. And then her and Dante have like a slight negative relationship. And her and Francesca have literally never spoken. So anyway, Thomas gets his son this cool little like archery set with a little target, and they're going to play together, and they're both really bad at it, but they're having a good time, and they're bonding as father and son, and they're just really enjoying the whole thing. I don't know if Thomas is just going to be a jock or if he's going to decide that he wants to be a knight one day, but he is definitely enjoying his like physical skills and all of that. Maybe we'll do some archery competitions in the future. I know that that is possible with the Regency Romance mod, so that'll be a lot of fun. And let's just change out the furniture because it is already the next day, so that means that Genevra is aging up into a infant. And so I'm just going to put the changing table actually in this bathroom because we have so much room in the bathroom anyway. And again, El Rosaria does not want to use that free bedroom on the other side of the house. She really does not, because she does not want to have any of her kids kind of under Odelgard's like section of the house. So the girls are going to share a room for now. We'll see what happens. I mean, if any sim dies, then we'll have room, I guess. That's so bad to say. So yeah, we are going to just go here and take care of that. We'll put her on the family tree. She looks like she's got the coloring of Emil. She's got the same hair and eyes, but she does definitely have El Rosaria's face shape. So there's that. And honestly, like, Emil is Thomas's cousin, so they do look alike already. So it's not like anyone's going to notice that that baby is not his, since they're still kind of related. So anyway, let's clean up the house a little bit so that we can have Thomas's birthday party. I think El Rosaria is really grateful that Thomas didn't take the opportunity to screw her over. I mean, she doesn't think he's that kind of guy, but who knows? I mean, he's been carrying on with his mistress in public. So anyway, she is going to do her best to host like a really nice party for his birthday, and really wants things to go well for it, and wants him to, know that she appreciates him and all that stuff. So let's get going here. And Odelgard is going to kind of come outside and, say happy birthday and whatever, and kind of, the party's just starting, the prep is happening. And Thomas is going to tell her, like, hey, you need to stop it with the like backhanded remarks about Genevra. I don't care what the two of you do to each other, but you can't, bring that little baby into this. And Odelgard's like kind of taken back because Thomas doesn't usually scold her. He doesn't usually tell her that she's wrong. He usually kind of gives her the world. And so he's not really happy with that. And she's just like, what do you care? Like, she's not even your kid. And he's like, you're not gonna, destroy the reputation of this family any more than I already have. I mean, people kind of give men a pass for this sort of thing, but, obviously El Rosario would be totally shunned by society if that happens. So he is basically told Odelgard, like, cut it out. So she is really not happy about that. She doesn't like that he kind of took her to task there. But El Rosario is really happy because the party's going really well and everyone seems to be happy. And Thomas is going to now present El Rosario with a gift, is that he basically is going to buy an estate for little Genevra, and is going to, obviously make sure she's taken care of in that way. And El Rosario was not expecting that. She really thought that he wasn't going to give Genevra an estate of her own. And so she's kind of shocked by that. And she's very happy that Thomas is actually really treating Genevra like she's one of his children. And so because of that, she is kind of, very happy. She is, at the top. She's great. She's having a great time. We just got gold on that birthday party. She just completed her aspiration. I was looking for maybe like a new one, but I don't know yet exactly which one we're going to do. So anyway, she is so happy. She's doing great and everything is going okay. And some of that anxiety that she's been feeling is kind of, going away a little bit. And Odelgard, of course, is not happy about it. So Odelgard and Emil are kind of alone in the kitchen there. And then Odelgard's like, that's your baby, right? And he's like, I don't care. And just kind of walks away. And Odelgard is like, damn it. Like, she was trying to do something there and he just didn't care. Like, it does not bother him at all because it was just a fling to him. Like, he's got his proper wife. She's a noble lady. He's not worried. So he's not going to, make his wife angry by, having an illegitimate child out there. And also El Rosario and Feliz are like really good friends. So that's kind of, scandalous that El Rosario had something with Feliz's husband. But I mean, it was before anybody knew that Feliz and Emil were carrying on together. Nobody really knew that. So anyway, we're here and the party's over and everything. And Thomas is going to be talking to Odelgard, and he's like, look, I've been doing a lot of research on vampires lately. Like, I think I found where, the vampire king lives, blah, blah, blah. And so he's talking to her and he's like, I really want to go find out if vampires are really, really real. And I don't know why this game is letting people move into lots. You got to stop that. But anyway, so Thomas is going to take a little trip by himself to Forgotten Hollow. And he is going to go here and meet Vlad. So he is going to come here and he's going to knock on the door and kind of wander into this, vampire mansion. He's going to come over here and see Vlad, and he's going to basically start talking to him. Vlad is like not happy that this random guy is coming in here. I don't think that Vlad knows that we're related to all of the people that he had problems with, but we're very distantly related to them. So anyway, he's talking to Vlad and he's like, I knew vampires were real. That's so awesome, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I've cheated death before too. And so they start talking about living forever and death. And Vlad actually kind of likes Thomas. Like, their friendship is going up pretty well. And I always thought that it was really hard to get along with Vlad. So this is kind of funny. They're both like bonding over music and art and all that stuff. And so Thomas is like, yeah, it's like amazing, whatever. I would love if to join you. I want to be a vampire. Like, I want to help with your legacy and all that stuff. And Vlad is eating it up, right? He loves that because he thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. And so they're talking, and Vlad is like, well, I've never, turned anyone before. All of his vampires so far in this lore have been, born from other vampires. And so he's like, let me look into it. Like, let me see. And so Vlad is like, maybe there's another way to spread my empire versus, worrying about having children and all that stuff. So he is going to, give it a think and see if that's possible. So Thomas is going to leave for now, and Thomas is really excited because he met a real vampire, and, he's met the Grim Reaper several times before, and he's just like, his family has been so shrouded in death and surrounded by death, and like every single one of them has died at least once in his immediate family and all of that stuff. And I think that, after losing Genevieve and, after losing Gregory and his father, and, everything is happening and he has no control over a lot of that stuff. And so he is just going to be really thinking, and he's going to tell Odelgard, and he's going to be like, I think we should become vampires. I think we should do that. And she's like, well, do you think like it will work, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what, I'll do it. And then if I can figure it out and we can make it happen, then I'll turn you into a vampire later. So he's basically saying like he plans on becoming a vampire. He plans on asking Vlad to turn him into a vampire. He really wants to do that. Odelgard is a little more hesitant. She, obviously no one has ever been turned into a vampire before in this Ultimate Decades Challenge. So she is like a little wary of the whole thing, but if that's what Thomas wants, and then she's thinking too, like, oh, if we become vampires and live forever, I'll outlive El Rosaria. Anyway, so another thing that's happening in the world right now is Jeremiah has been carrying on with his maid, Mirabelle, which should not be a surprise to anyone. And so they've been carrying on together, and Jeremiah kind of sees how his brother has been really struggling lately. Like Cassian is losing it, and we're totally going to all be killed. So Jeremiah's like, you know what? I'm changing my name. I'm getting married. We're moving to Tartosa. Like, they sneak out under the cover of night and, sneak past the soldiers and whatever. And so he abandons his brother to go live in Tartosa with Mirabelle, and neither of them rolled to have any children, so he changes his name. He's trying to, disappear in a way. So that's what happens there. And now poor Cassian is literally alone with little Martine, who I guess Martine is living a lot happier since Cassian the Elder died, because I'm sure that Cassian the Younger is like, yeah, you can do whatever you want here. Like, and is, taking good care of her because that's his sister, and, he loves her like a sister. So there's that. And then we are going to have Felice have her baby. So I just need to put her in labor so that she can do that. And we're going to be hanging out with the children. Again, we have Tiffany, who's now getting top skills in 3 of her toddler skills. Meanwhile, Francesca only has 1. She's about to have 2. And so there's that. And so Odelgard is totally winning this battle of the children. But yeah, so we now have 4 estates. It's a lot. But yeah, anyway, Thomas has told Odelgard all about Vlad and all of that stuff. And we're also going to Papa is also going to have her baby. So both Feliz and Papa are going to have their children right now. Papa does it off screen though. So Feliz goes first. She has a girl with Emil, but unfortunately the girl does not roll to survive, so she dies. And then Papa did also roll to have a girl, and she did survive. And I forget what I named her now, but it was like Catalina. So yeah, that is the baby that was born in the Payne family. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's where we're going to wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed this part. I don't know how you're going to feel about the whole vampire thing. I know we've kind of talked about bringing vampires back in the past, and I kind of was always planning, Thomas has been so surrounded by death. I was really thinking that once he was done having children, we would turn him into a vampire. So I think that that's going to be exciting and something we're going to pick up in the next part. There is so much going on with this generation, I swear. There's so much happening, and I love it. I love every second of it. So I hope that you do too, and I'll catch you in the next one.